That's Iran.
Yeah.
Great.
Isn't it?
They've been on their art week this week, but the teacher wasn't there, but they still did a load of paintings for themselves. That one worked quite well. I don't think that was.
Oh.
Mine looks like a rabbit. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
just,
That one came in as well this week, I think.
yeah, I just did it quickly.
Was that pastel?
No, it's paint.
Oh, was that? Oh, right. Gosh. That's
Watercolor. Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Looks nice. Oh, hanging on.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
That was Chrissy's, that one.
yeah, that's
Bit
good.
brighter.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Joyce.
Joyce.
Looks so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's like the one you take to bed with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I just find it hard getting all the angles right.
Yeah.
Mine's just full on, I think. I thought, oh, I'll have another go.
There's oh, Mel was here last night. She said, I haven't seen any of anyone's work lately. I said, oh. And there was a lot of ooh, going on. This I only thought I'd share a few because some were you wouldn't have seen some of them. That was Anne's Cardy Cottage.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah. That was Carol's, wasn't it?
Is that mine? No.
Yeah.
Is that mine? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, too much green.
Yeah, I agree.
Funny that house is on downhill, isn't it? I didn't even notice. I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
That's Chrissy, isn't it? Great colours.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, we know who's that is.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Good, isn't it?
Good fun, isn't it?
I enjoyed that one.
It shows. You can see.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
You just make it look so much more simpler, doesn't it? Than I don't know. I've got to try and find another way of doing things, but don't know how.
I think Pauline's there. I think.
Yeah.
I think there's my son-in-law Ricky. He's a landscape gardener, sort of works for Wiltshire Council now. Actually, he's one of the bosses there, one of the big cheeses. If he sees those, he'll be thinking, "Where's my strimmer?" Imagine him getting over at Hardy's cottage.
Oh dear.
Get the strimmer out, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, the French River one. There was a few of those came in. Oh, hang on.
Challenge.
Yeah.
More green.
Bit green again, wasn't it? Bit green again.
Yeah.
Apologise for that. Well, not really, because we got, like I said in my notes, you've got to get out of your comfort zone at some point.
That's a movement. That's lovely.
Yeah, that's Carol's. Hers are always rubbish. I won't get too.
I've cut my paper down so it doesn't take me so long. I'm doing smaller ones because I'm a bit pushed for time, really.
Well, I was looking at mine earlier, and I was thinking, oh, it's not one of your finest hours, Dave.
Well, that's nice.
But then this morning I was looking at it again, thinking, do you know what? It is what it is. It's not so bad as you think. It's not an easy subject to manipulate into a. You sort of you took something and just.
Sorry. I think it's a variation of greens there.
Amazing.
Very good.
How many?
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that one, but it turned out okay.
It wasn't easy, was it?
Fun.
I'm sorting out my pictures, and the ones I don't like, I'm cutting them in half and using the other side. Save using new paper all the time.
Yeah, I do that quite often,
I
usually,
started to do that.
especially on ones I don't like.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a
That's
vote in this
Joyce's,
one.
yeah, that's good.
I think
Good,
I think
Joyce,
on
it's
the
got to
other
be
side,
Joyce.
on the other side of today's, there's a hare, a
Mm.
rabbit, or whatever you call it.
Mm.
Most of it, I think, the more you look at it, the more that's Joyce down the
Mm,
river.
Yeah, messing about in the river.
Mm.
well done.
Yeah,
It's a bit
very
something in that water.
Mm.
I think it's a good idea
Mm.
to break it up.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyone we know?
good.
Not
Mm.
Terry, is it?
No, it's that French guy.
Yeah. Francois.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Ori.
Mm,
I
That's
don't know who
nice.
that one is. That's Pauline.
Mm.
that's good.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
That one. Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely, Pauline.
Yeah. I didn't think it was, but
No,
sometimes when you stand back and look at it,
Yeah,
No.
no, you got the houses in as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
there's more going on there, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's a little story, which is what it should be. I think I might. Yeah. It's pretty damn good. But it was a hard subject.
yeah.
Mm.
I found the pathway at the back, you know, where it was that bit there. Yeah,
Yeah, down
that
here.
was quite hard to get right.
yeah.
You can make up your mind because it's more like you said, it was like a little weir and a
Yeah.
pool behind it.
Oh, is that supposed to be a path?
No, it's,
I
No,
thought it was part of the river.
I think
it
it
could
is.
be.
part-
It's like
sloping
a
down, isn't it?
yeah, it's a weir type thing, isn't it?
Mm.
It was sloping down into
Yeah.
the water.
Anyway, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, well,
It's in
Fine,
the
fine.
it's history now,
Mm.
Go
but
on.
it's online.
Mm.
I haven't got a clue what to do about today's.
Oh, God, I've been trying to draw that. It's so hard.
Yeah. Hang on, let's
I
share
didn't even
that.
I
see
tried to
it
do it with the
until
squares, and that didn't look right. So I'm having another go.
Yeah, you're not alone on that one.
No. Well, now I've finally got a printer that works.
Share it for any of our
Mhm.
YouTube viewers, which
Mm.
It's getting the lines right, isn't it? They're sort of, I don't know.
well, I would I printed mine out on an A4 sheet full out on I cropped it so that it came out quite and traced it onto the funny really, I've traced it onto the tracing paper.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
So now I did a grid on the tracing paper, started to do it bit by bit using the grid method, you know,
Mm.
and I thought, this is flipping stupid. I could be here till Christmas.
I know, I tried that, rubbed it out.
Yeah. So in the end, I printed a bigger one, you know, just more of the car, cropped it so that just the car came up, enlarged it onto an A4 sheet
Mm.
and traced it onto the thing, and then drew it. Oh, what a night!
Oh, gosh, that was a lot. You might as
But
well just
even then, I sat in front of the computer like I do with the board, zoomed in, you know, on the screen, zoom it in, you know, press the plus button and it zooms in. And the amount of detail, I thought, no.
I'd come back out again.
You could be here, you could be there for months
Mm.
doing this. So if any of the YouTube watchers are out there and they've got months to spare, this is the picture for you, I think.
Yeah,
I
think it would be easier just to trace it, because it
Yeah,
is a
I'm
bit,
sort of thinking that.
it's a bit
yeah.
I mean, okay, I know, but we've still got to paint it, so we can still muck it up, can't we? Even though we've traced it.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Well, the shape will be right, if nothing else.
I think I'll go through all my old paintings that have got loads of background woody greenery and then just stick a car on top.
That sounds like a good idea.
Right, let's have a go anyway. Gosh,
how do we get all that shadow in the windscreen?
Wow.
This is a challenge.
Oh, that. Yeah. I thought you were talking about something on the YouTube. I didn't realize. Yeah, well, you see what I did? I traced it on. I put that on there, I think, and then traced it on here with biro. Yeah, that was under there, and then it has to go on here. It was a nightmare. I don't believe in all this malarkey. Well, I'm all right when I'm doing it. I get all enthusiastic and I start sketching it. I think things like this, it would make a nice pencil sketch, but you need a really hard pencil. You know, you can't just use an HB to start it off. You need really fine lines to get in all these really fine details in here and gradually shade it in. And I'm using one of those don't know where they are, pencils that I've lost anyway. We used to call them propelling pencils, didn't we? But they're not. They're something else now. Not manual. You press the button, don't you? And out they come. I've left it over there, and I'm not going over back. And but the lead in that was HB, I think. So I couldn't get it right. I'm going to have a bit of a laugh, I think. I haven't used this big brush for ages. Me mop. So I deliberately, I think, as much out of fear probably, haven't given a lot of thought to how I'm going to do this. But I'm good. I even considered masking the car out with masking fluid. I thought that would cheer Carol up. It's be a lot of be a lot of masking fluid. I thought I can't afford that. If I just make it wet and then dream up some colours to go in it. But sometimes got to be careful here, though, haven't we? Because the let's put a bit of cloud in. This is just cobalt turquoise. I don't know why I keep using that on clouds. I'm just looking at the reference image with squinty eyes, more so than normal, and just saying, well, I don't care. But hopefully, where I've not made the the inside the car is dry, it won't spread all over the place. Mr. Benton. Well, I was going to use a beige tone, but the problem with that is, or a issue with that, is that the car's got a lot of that in. I didn't. If you're not careful, you'd lose the car. You know, that old juxtaposition thing. I got to eat humble pie here because there's green. Oh no, that was raw sienna and some green. Wow, whatever. Oh dear, I'm eating humble pie. It's got green in it, Dave. Beg your pardon. Yeah, but in like serious in your face green, is it? It's just made it wet and let it do its bit. I'm not putting any pressure on it. Raw sienna. I'll wash my brush out and now I'm going raw sienna and beige where that meets. Raw sienna. I did put some pencil shady bits on the car underneath. I thought at least that sometimes you need to do that to point you in the right direction when you come to paint it. Sort of a bit of a roadmap. Oil painters do it using grey, don't they, or an off colour, or a piece of charcoal. Beige, dab it in. Early lunch today then? I promised Anne and Gordon I'd go really slow. So they wouldn't, because they were back in about 3/4 of an hour, half an hour now. Blue, burnt umber. I'm going to use the fan brush now. Why? Oh, I like it. It's my favourite. I think it. If I could take just a couple of brushes to a desert island, fan brush would be one of them. Because you can do so much with it. I'll just burnt umber. Woo. See what happens. Might need a bit burnt sienna now. You can always come back later and add some extra. Oops, too much. Habit. Always add some extra dark bits to it later and blob in some white. Doesn't matter, does it? I do, I think. I haven't got my trusty hairdryer. Bit more blue. Bit of cling film might work quite well on that. Sort of push it over, scrunch it up and push it over. I haven't got any, but you know what I mean, where you just sort of crunch it up like so and then put it on and let it dry, and then when you lift it off you get a few random shapes. Anyway, tissue, bit of sponge, anything. Shall I use my hairdryer? I think I better just tease off the background. Got to find it first.
I think it looks nice just like that. Excuse me, I've got a tickle this one.
Right, come here. Someone put a comment, a lady, I think it was, I can't tell, it had a hand or it wasn't a name. Comment on a hair picture saying on YouTube that the love the painting, you know, love the artwork, blah blah blah, but the sound quality leaves something to be desired.
Oh,
So you know, you need to sort of the sound on it was a bit doodah. And then I suddenly thought, oh, I know why that was. That was when Chrissy was in bed with her phone poorly,
Oh,
and every time she moved, it's like.
Oh dear.
No,
Ooh,
it couldn't be helped. So I explained that, you know, I replied and explained that's what it was. And I did actually, prior to uploading the video, before I did the YouTube one, I edited a lot of the sound. I flicked through it, and any bits where Chrissy was in bed, I cut those bits out.
good.
I split it out, cut it out, and some of the volume I could see the peak because it comes up as a separate layer on the timeline of the video. You've got the pictures on the top, and then underneath you get another one, which is the audio. So you can see it goes up like a little zigzag, you know, like a graph, and you can see where it went louder. So I could just flick to, you know, move to that, and if it was like, you know, when Chris turned over or something, I could mute it or just turn the volume down. So I did make an effort, and obviously upheld a lady's privacy as much as possible.
I didn't even think about it being on YouTube. I thought, oh, I can join in. I can just lay here with my phone and not feel quite so miserable. I forgot it was going to be on the tube. Oh my word.
you're famous now, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Wow, there's dedication for you.
Yeah.
I think they'll
Miserable, apparently.
oh, so that Chris.
I don't know.
Right, we're back, but we're not stopping.
hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
Got to organise a visit to the doctors now, so.
Oh,
Right.
Just going to mute it for a bit and then we'll come back.
Okay.
So I can't hear anyone at the moment because of the noise of this thing. So. I haven't got headphones on, and I can't be bothered with all that. Paper's really wobbly. But I know there's another picture, one of the pictures from last week, previous weeks on the other side, like Carol said. Seemed like a good idea to me. Especially if you don't like them, you're not that keen on it. But on my those the A3 flick folders that I bought, clear transparent viewers, I noticed on some of those, you flick the page, you think, oh, that's nice, and you flick it over, oh, that's nice. But what it said you didn't notice is that it's one sheet of paper with a picture on both sides. Oh. So anyone says, you know, if I ever do go anywhere where I put them up for, you know, put them up for offer for sale, I'll have to.
you got 2 for 1. Buy one, get one free.
Have 2 different people saying, well, I want that one. Oh no, I want that one. I think, oh, I don't think how this is going to work. It's not going to work, madam. Colors. I've been using the same colors that I normally do in my palette, but I think for today's adventure, just to save a bit of time, I've got Terry's shadow. And in all honesty, this is, I can't remember, Joyce probably might remember, it's at least 3 years old that I know of.
Oh yes.
That I bought this. So I don't use it that often because it's still chunky. There's not a lot of paint come out of this. Well, it's one of those colours, isn't it? It's a little dab goes a heck of a long way. Can't get the lid back on there. No. Well, it's the beauty of watercolour, isn't it? If you can't get the lid back on, it doesn't really affect it because you can just come back later and re-wet it, and it sort of loosens everything up again. Anyway, it's a nice colour. We can do a lot with it. There's that burnt umber colour there that I had earlier. I was messing with. Put a bit of burnt sienna in. I'm just thinking about, so it's burnt sienna. Might try and do it on the paper. I'll give it a go. I've got two brushes. I've got the Terry Harrison's, a rigger, and sort of a pointy one, golden detail. It's just a little detail brush. I suppose you call it a, what do you reckon, number 7, number 8 brush. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate. Well, start where I've clean water. I've got any. This brush looks a bit jaded. It probably needs cleaning. Or I've put something horrible on it. Bit of burnt sienna. Start at the darkest bit, the furthest away. Well, that's the theory. Seems to have followed the brush there. And then I'll drop some of that shadow on top of it, see if it gets a nice tone. It's a start, isn't it? You've got to start somewhere. I'll put it over there, but I think I might. It's the same methodology as the bridge from last week. But I didn't do it very well, I didn't think. I wanted it to go like this. You know, where you get those shadow areas and it looks like it's dark, black or whatever, but if you look at it a double take, it's got lots of shades of other colours in it. No, I do. I'm going to follow that routine everywhere, where all the places where I've put pencil shading. Just a bit of clean water, and that bit in there is favourite. So I've got water on my brush. See if we can tease the little rascal out. Because what you want is, as it dries, to give that sort of not solid effect, isn't it? It's not solid, it's shadow. Burnt sienna. Wash a load of that on. Because I've got clean water there, so it should just. And then some of that shadow. You could use a dark blue. This is why well, the example I put of the burnt umber and blue right from the start works as well. Quite nice. Just give it a fine line. I was going to say something then, but it's gone. It was along the lines of stick with less colours rather than more. 2 colours, like I'm doing, or trying to keep 2 here, is the burnt sienna and the shadow. Or if you mix your own blue and burnt umber. If you're not happy later, or you want to increase the strength of the shadow, you can do it quite easily because you only got two colours to think about. A bit too much burnt sienna on there. Get in there. But what you're trying to do, trying to achieve, is to get the dark colour at the top of the wash, the area, and with the water underneath, you want it to fizzle down. Blend, wash. As I say, this is one of them paintings that I'm not going to get time to do the whole photorealism routine. There's a clever lady on Facebook. Chrissy probably spotted it on the Dorset Artist. She does pencil sketches of motorbikes and cars.
No, I haven't seen her.
Yeah, she does. She's local. She just uses pencils, and most of it is like Harley Davidson with a leather jacketed persona looking away from you and all this sort of thing. It's quite popular. I've noticed, I don't think it's because she started to do it, but I've noticed just lately a few more people local have posted similar type pictures up. Motorcycles, you know, a Royal Enfield from 1962 or something like that. It's quite popular at the moment. I think well, not at the moment, I think it always has been. But the reason I point it out is her work is really good. The amount of hours just scratching away with a pencil, different set of pencils, you've got to admire it. It's the sort of thing you did when you were young, budding artist at school. Or I did. I suppose it's I've got some more of this shadow colour here. Bit wet, bit of water. Maybe I'll use more of this than I thought. No, I've got my arm. It's this type of painting. I'm resting my head on my elbow. My elbow's on the desk, and I'm just sort of letting it flow, really. Now this bit here, that can be the similar. I think I've got a stronger shadow, do you think? Maybe. A lot of these pictures, it's really difficult to actually see what it is you're actually painting, which is what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to make it up, aren't you? You're supposed to have to, well, use your artistic eye to tease it out. Interpretation, that's the word, Dave. Oh, right. That's it, is it? And Rigoritis. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Where are you, Rigor? I'm just going to stick with the thin rigor. Try not to stick my arm in all this lovely work I've done up to now. Let's put a tissue over it, just in case. And tease out. I'm going to sketch with the rigor. Anybody's got a better solution, let me know. Pick it out if you can. There's a line. Reinforce your pencil lines. I suppose that's what I'm doing, isn't it? Prior to putting a load of stronger washes on. I put all my telescope stuff up for sale. Believe it or not. I don't know why. Do you know you do things, I think it's part of this autism thing. I just get an idea in my head, a notion in my head, and it just evolves. Think, oh, why don't I do this? These are it's just that grey shadow tone. I'm just filling it in. I'm just looking for shadows within the bit dry brush work. Why not? One thing I haven't got is any of the green colour that I used. I think it was over there or somewhere. Just think it needs one in there. A hint of it. This is proper watercolour, this, isn't it? It's you've got to be really delicate. What do you mean it leaves you out, Dave? Yeah. Oh dear. Oh,
We'll have to play it backwards.
it reminds me of every time I think of painting. No, these are the reflections of the trees here. Think of really fine, detailed art paintings and that. Also reminds me of Alan Hayden, because he's a big bloke, you know, 6 foot odd and one thing and another. Not intimidating, but he's just big, you know. And you think, isn't that amazing? He's such, and he's got hands like tree trunks, you know, fingers like sausages, and he produces really fine, delicate paintings that everybody buys. So there's hope. I always think that's quite lovely, really. Because he's had them a long time, so he's got used to using them. These tree trunks. But then again, it's like I'm always trying to advocate. You don't use if you're doing this to the brush, holding it down to the tip like this, you're restricting your movement. It feels like you've got more control. If you're trying to do just a delicate fine line, you might get away with it, but in actual fact, you get more holding it near the end. It's a leap of faith thing. You have to do it. This is turquoise blue, or whichever blue you think of the sky, and there's got to be a reflection of it, or a hint of it. This paper is Gordon's favourite, called the Langton. I think he threw his all away. Little voice will come up in the background in a minute. No.
Yeah, we switched back on now. Is everybody okay this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
We're
good.
all, we slowed. I was painting really quickly, but I slowed down because I didn't want you to miss any of it.
David, yeah.
You'll
Did
be
you have
up.
a nice holiday?
Sorry?
Did you have a nice holiday?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, very, very good.
Good.
Very enjoyable. Saw David, saw Alex and all the families.
Yeah.
And then went on to the art holiday and did our own thing because of Kevin, because he was gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Caught up with Dave's art.
She did. Well, I've shown it all.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
There
kept
were
me
lots
busy.
of. Well, you'll watch it. Oh, you might be. I might have recorded it. You'll
Oh,
be
don't
like,
worry.
ooh, ah. It was like firework night.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
funny. It's the difference when you're sat there concentrating and you've got nothing else to do. It does turn out better than when you're at home just trying to grab every second. It makes
Well,
a
that
difference.
explains where I'm going wrong then.
Yeah, yeah. You need time to yourself. But yeah, no, it was great. I mean, we missed Kevin really, but on the other hand, we managed perfectly well without him. So we were okay.
That's good.
We all did our own things.
Anyway,
Yeah.
getting
The
back to
storm in Cornwall was quite exciting. That moved the caravan 6 inches.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Wow.
We went
I
down and
was
saw the sea up
worried,
Christmas.
wasn't I? I
Sorry?
kept in touch.
Yeah.
I was giving you weather forecasts saying, watch out, don't go out tomorrow.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
going, oh, it's bad. I said, it ain't bad. You wait till the morning.
We were almost
And then I
on a
got this
hill.
like, oh, cheers, Dave.
Yeah.
Boom.
But the sea was spectacular.
Oh dear, that made me. Once and after I reread what, you reread what you wrote and you think,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that wasn't quite what I meant."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
But no, it was a nice holiday. Thank you.
I get that a lot. I get it all the time. Mel and James, they beat me up all the time about it. I say things in a different way
Yeah,
that I don't mean to be harmful.
yeah. That's the trouble with the written word. You can read it to yourself a different way to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right saying it's in black and white, but you can read it opposite ways.
I'm just going over all my little pencil lines here with a shadow tone before adding some
Is that nice farmhouse?
other stuff. But I've been using this shadow and burnt sienna because the rust is the prevalent thing, isn't it? On this motor. I think it's could use a watercolor pencil quite legitimately to what do you call it, scale these things in. I think if you can get a little bit of dry brush going, it'll be good.
Looks like it's just come out the showroom at the moment.
Yeah, all right. I haven't put any of the rust on yet. Have I? It took years for that rust to develop. It'll be whatever it'll be. It's a good exercise though. Well, I think it is. In picking out shadow. I think most of these watercolors are like that, aren't they? Oh, I got a letter. I hope if she's listening to the YouTube video. I haven't forgotten her. I got an email message. I think it was last night, early this morning, from someone on the Eventbrite channel, which is where I advertise what we're doing. Like, if you want to join, you know. And it just sort of said, "Is it watercolor?" And I thought, well, I'm not going to be rude, but the event is called Weekly Watercolor Online, and I'm thinking, well, it's a bit cruel if it wasn't. So I have to reply, but she did spell watercolor the American way, so maybe that gave some confusion, because we spell it with a U and they don't. And I'm adamant that I will put a U on it on purpose. Because it's English. Oh, Britannia. And all that, you know. What about them people over in Sudan? Can't get out. Well, they're having the double tracking now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Government is sending in the doodahs. But they were saying, why didn't you do it at the start? We were here waiting. Dear, oh dear. Despair. That's over two generals not agreeing.
Stupid, isn't it?
What's the matter with these people? Tribalism again, isn't it? Always the same. Raw sienna, burnt sienna. I mean, if you think it's you want to add a bit of sparkle. Is that raw sienna? No, you twit. Ah, that explains something. I've been using the yellow when it should have been raw sienna. Didn't even know my own palette. I'm stuck with a rigger. Help. Once you get the flipping thing on your hand, it's near impossible to get rid of it. Anyway, let's put this to bed. I want to go home. Time for an early lunch. Always say that and end up. What time is it? Oh, 12:20. What? What's that there? Burnt sienna. Oh dear. On top of raw sienna. See what happens.
It's a bit soft. I think we need a cakewalk.
Not the colour I wanted, really. I want raw. I'm just testing the water here.
Right.
Change that brush. Water, clean water. I think as I don't know about you, when I was sketching it, and you zoom in a bit and look at it a bit closer,
Fish and chips on you.
try and think of the thing as being made out of
Well, you don't have to.
different components, like
Say what you want.
the bonnet's different. That's a wing, that's a door, that's a wing, that's a, they're all autonomous unit bits.
Stinker fish and chips.
They're not all it's not a whole. You know, a complete entity from word go. Now this is a decision here I've got to make, because the original car was blue, wasn't it? So
That's what we do, yeah.
it doesn't matter. At some point, the blue turned into rust. So this is my way of thinking, yeah. So the wash underneath the burnt sienna that I'm using, there has to be a hint of blue, don't there? To give it that feel that the burnt sienna or the rust is just the paint gone manky. For my American audience, that just means rubbish. But it could work. I'll do it again on this bit. So I'm using cobalt turquoise, which isn't far off the colour that they painted it in the first place. But I think if you do it that way, and say, right, I'm going to do it in sections. So we do the bonnet. Now, clean water on the, whatever this piece is. Just break it down that way.
Very nice taste.
It'll make it easier.
I'll try it with a bread sauce next time.
And make it, hopefully, well, in my estimation,
knife, the serrated knife.
hopefully make it feel, give it some depth, you know, some extra.
It works.
Oh yeah, bread knives used to be serrated.
Just
yeah, it's just sort of, I think it's a veg. It's
a lovely colour, isn't it?
Mixed spice.
That cobalt turquoise. That was a good find when that. Can't remember the artist's name there. I went on one of his online, bit like what we're doing here really, and it was portraiture, and he was using, I think actually when I booked a ticket, I can't remember, it was for charity, so I did pay to go, but when I booked a ticket and the sort of reply came back, and one of the things it said was that matey boy uses an inordinate amount of cobalt turquoise. So I went out and bought some before the event actually happened. But this stuff I'm using is the St. Petersburg version of it. Now these bits at the front, they wouldn't have had blue on them because it's, I'm going to do it, oh, too much water, Dave. I wanted a little blob of clean water. I want it damp, just damp to doodle it in. They're chrome, aren't they? So they wouldn't have had blue, so don't put blue on them. They've just gone they've just gone rusty. End of. But the burnt sienna seems to be a nice, give it a nice tone. Left-handed, where do you start? You can leave a few highlights of white paper. and fabricate some shadows with darker strength of go down. So I'm talking to myself now. Make a little bit of that raw sienna, or even a mild hint of yellow blends in. What colour's rust? Sort of a red oxide, isn't it? So it always add a little bit of rose madder to the burnt sienna. That'll give it a horrible red tinge that you don't want. Well, it doesn't look right. I'm not disputing. Bit of clean water. Just lift it off if you're not happy. Don't think the yellow works. Put my hand up. Lift it off. Walk away. Come back to that bit later. Oh, we've got some lovely turquoise blue's just gone green. That yellow, it's in my palette. But I'm being delicate today, just putting a little usual watercolor thing. Clean water, wash, make it damp, and then put the colour on. Give it that nice. Where is it? Trying to look, see where the colour, if there's any areas where it goes darker. Not really. It's really faded, isn't it? I think it's the car is called a Belair, by the way. That's it. I'll have to Google that before I put it up on YouTube so that I get the right.
Is that the one they used for the racing in Greece?
Ooh, that's fascinating.
Looks about the same shape.
Oh, that'll be great if that comes up.
Ah. Well, we can say it is anyway, can't we?
Yeah. So that's the car that I want. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is. Well, we could be zooming away, but you can see it's a fascinating subject, but it's not there's no wizardry or magic in it. It's just a matter of being patient and gradually filling in the blanks carefully. Put a bit in and walk away and come back and put another bit in later. But I would say it's a good exercise for different strengths of paint, wet and wet, adding, it's almost monochrome, because you're having to, because we're not using, well, I'm not using a vast amount of colours. What I am trying to do is do lots of variations of the same colour to make it look like all the shadows are there, well, different tones. Good fun there. I'm enjoying this. But I think the foundation sketch is worth the extra mileage, you know, the extra effort. Watch it, see where I'm going there. I think, and this technique of making it damp, putting in the light colour, burnt sienna, and then dropping the other colours onto it, on top. There is a line there. You have to be careful. But like I say, you can't go wrong really, because there's rust everywhere. So you could start. I've done it this way, but you could start off by painting the whole flipping thing, a light wash of burnt sienna. It's not so much fun doing that way then. But as I say, put an extra half hour or whatever, 20 minutes into the sketch. Definitely worth the effort. You can hear my dog barking downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The Sainsbury's have sorted out their online problems by the looks of it. We had that the other week, didn't we, Joyce? The whole of the online ordering system at Sainsbury's has gone belly up. Nobody could. You were ordering, going through payment, and it was sort of stuttering whether it had paid or not.
It's a big problem. It's what, 2 weeks now since it started.
Just clean water on the brush now. Dragging that shadow colour in the grill up there down onto the chromy bit, because quite often, because I'm not that confident, sometimes I look at it and I don't know what colour it is. I know what colour is in the shadow bit, so to get the colour for the other bit, I'll just make the shadow bit drizzle down into it, and it sort of works, often than not. I think all I've got on the brush now is sort of a damp brush with a little bit of grey shadow. I'm just looking around for areas just to put a bit of, almost a bit of dirt on, and get it really watery. Let's move my palette in. Get it a real watery, it's almost dirty water, isn't it? And you can start adding some extra bits onto the sort of, they're shadowy, but they blend, don't they? They're so subtle that you need plenty of water on them. And then try and soften the edges down as well. It's almost doing a portrait, you realise that? I was thinking about it. I was going to say that earlier. Maybe I did. You're not paint it, it's almost like you're painting a portrait. Yeah. Dab it in. But I say my favourite term is do a bit and walk away, or move away. It's better. Go to another area. Spoil that as well. Yeah, muck that up. And then come back to the original one. Which one? Well, very often it balances out quite well. Clean water's the key though. A line of colour. With some move away and go somewhere else. There you go. I've gone over there. I've been there, and now I'm going back over here to this bit that's caught my attention. So, and once you start finding some shadowy bits, but we've done the hard work, blocking in the lines. So now it's just a matter of adding some tone. Hello. Someone's going. What I do try to when I don't always remember, but when you're painting something, move the brush the way that you want it to curve. You know, the brush strokes the way. If you want this to go that way, bend, then make your brush go that way. I'm not convinced it works every time, but it makes me feel that I've tried. All right, we need some more. Wow, look at that. Really, I've deliberately sat down to do this today. It's happens quite often when you sit down and you're really close to the picture. You've got two things are going to happen. Well, one of two things is likely to happen when you stand up. You're going to look at the picture and go, oh my God. Or think, oh, that's all right. It's just St. Michael's Law. I've got no music tomorrow, so I can have a lie in anyway. Chill out Wednesday, I think. There we go. I think there's a area over there. Feel the lift. As I say, the good way of doing it is to clean water on your brush, or just a dab of water, and have the tissue in your hand. I'm coveting this rigger at the moment. I don't want to lose it. So, and just lift paint off. If you're not sure, lift it off. Dab it on the tissue. And sometimes get some really lovely smooth transitions. Oh, that's a good word. Transition between one area of the painting and another. You want the nice, if you can get those lovely smooth, almost if you know people that are watching on YouTube would, they'll know about Photoshop and use Photoshop. Well, sometimes to enhance an image, you use a Gaussian blur on it. It's remarkable how blurring an area of paint of an image can make it look better, sharper. It's uncanny. And sometimes if you over sharpen something, you make a blur on it, and it adds it, and that's what we're doing with clean water on a brush and a bit of tissue. It's my fault. I'm sticking to it. No, it's true. Now it's just darks. I think it's darks. Rigger. Shame back Dame Edna.
Yeah.
Or Barry. Sometimes not. Hello, my little darlings. Hello, my little darlings. Used to imitate him when I was a lad. It was rage, wasn't it? Doing Dame Edna impersonations.
Yeah, that's three people.
Yeah, I
Just
saw that.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad.
There was a Dame Edna thing on was it on Twitter? Somebody posted. They put these little video clips up, and there was one there that someone put up where he Barry Humphries. They had Boris Johnson on a Dame Edna show or whatever it was. God, he tore him apart. And he even sort of said, "Oh, you're going to be a future prime minister as well." You know, he was just, and you're a lawyer. You know, and all this. He didn't muck about. I thought, gosh, it's so. Talk about seeing into the future. Trying to find a subtle hinge of right here. But I think I'll let it dry off and add a little bit more while it's damp. It's only till a week later you look back at the picture and you think, "Oh, I've missed that off. I've missed that off. Oh, there's a wheel missing." Oh, dear, oh dear. Well, it's quite fun, that. Well, it's leveling, makes you feel or realise how inadequate you are. But one thing I will say is even tracing the subject like this, you don't get it right. It's still loads missing. It's uncanny. And the beauty of it is, of course, like, yeah, I did it on the sketch and I've done it on here. Yeah. Now, door handles. You mean fork handles? No, door handles. Yeah, door. You mean you want some 4 door handles? I did it on the sketch and I thought, oh gosh, I'm not going to put them in great detail. No point. Getting to that stage now where I'm just saying, go abandon, have fun. That's I mean, that's a hard one to foot across. There's a spaceship on the front, a rocket on top of the front of the car, isn't there? So without that's juxtaposition, you have to do the background dark to bring out the white of the fins on the little spaceship thing. Maybe a bit dark, but there you go. I was going to say was the beauty of it is it's fluid, because at the moment when this picture was taken, the car was so and so rusty, as you can see there in the picture, but by now it would be more like the one that I'm painting. There's more weather gone on it. Yeah, I like that analogy. Yeah, it's a lot rustier now than it was back then. Right, I'm gonna take a break from that, I think, for a minute. Oh, hang on. Put some thin lines on there. I think the old watercolor pencil could be a handy friend at some point. I think I might do that with a bigger brush. Well, I've got this one here, so I'm just using paint that's in there. Remember last week, looking for some dry brushwork, so rubbing the brush off on the side and just trying to find some knotty bits on the paper. Need to put it up there. Maybe I'll form it. Just drawing with a brush, using the rough of the paper to make it look like this. Give the feeling that there's some hard edges on some of it. I'll be careful. Bit too much. Okay. Bit blue. What I wanted to find was a real soft bottle colour for the roof. Got my background squished in there. Just wash it off. Yeah, I think what I'll do is turn it upside down for a sec. Love painting upside down. And then use the some clean water. There's like an edge along here. Just wanted those fins of the car to show up a bit. Don't know if I'll probably bleed into it now. Put too much water on. Then use, I thought it was raw sienna I was using, but it was yellow. Don't even know my own palette. I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's bleeding. Ooh. Let's get that. Let's get a bit of green. Booker's green. Sap green. anybody's green. Just dab it in there. Might need to go over this more than once. Of course, there's pencil lines on it which distract as well. Ooh. There you go. Then you can bring your bigger brush in. And let the water do some extra doodah. Sorry about the green. It just seems to. I can't think of any other way of. Bit of dry. Even this brush has gone dry now. The mop, little mini mop. But going back to that desert island thing, it'd have to be one of them, wouldn't it? With the fine point on it. Because you can paint right up into really fine areas of the painting. Let's blend that in there. God knows if it's supposed to be green in there or not. Yellow. Raw sienna. That was the colour I was supposed to be using in the start. Blend it in. Tidy it up. Bit of raw sienna. I figured the raw sienna would be nice because it's an earth colour, isn't it? More of a that would stand, make the car stand out a bit. There you go. Was that a fan brush? Still got a bit of yuck on it from earlier. I think that's the colour of the water now. It's gone. I went on a bit of shadow. Painting upside down. Never. This is that brush. Remember I was on about? I've forgotten about it. It sort of bent like a doodah. What's it? I think the theme this week is mix up a load of shadow colour and just have a play with it. Is there anything growing up on the doodah? Sky? Turn it back, see what happens. Well, at least I had a try to squish it out a bit. It's not wet enough to maybe. It's all blurred, isn't it? We want it to be blurred. Where's a brush? Knife. Something sharper. Oh, hang on.
12 o'clock.
No, it wasn't because it was because I've got these brushes with the wedge on it. They're designed to do this. It's got that cutting a thing, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. We have got a bit green. Humble apologies. It wasn't in my plan to do that. It just turned out that way. As I said, I haven't sat down and planned the picture at all. How I would approach it. I thought, no, I'm going to go really blind. Just going from nothing to something, see what happens. I mean, I've sat down so long, my legs gone to sleep here. So if I fall over, The number is 0786 for the ambulance. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Looks like Melanie's gone out. Sainsbury's has come and they've run off. There you go. It's not as on screen. It's more like that. It's definitely not as bright as the other one. Right, that was a big sigh. There's a run back there. We don't like them. We're happy with that. Well, I've made the background easier than I thought I might. It can be anything really, can it? There is an issue. I could say this area here probably be darker. Bless you! Way! Whoa! Cool, you nearly had my eye out there. That's what I said to him. That's one of my things. Melanie does it sometimes at the dinner table. Just like, oh, you nearly had my eye out. Oh, dear. She's got one of those. If she sneezes, it's louder than Concord taking off. Decibels, it's extremely loud. I've often.
There's somebody else like that, don't we, Anne?
Yes, we do, Chris.
Oh.
We'll have to have a competition.
It's not. Maybe it's a girl thing.
No, it's Gordon.
It's not funny. It hurts your ears.
It makes you jump out your skin.
There you go.
But no, it's not me and Chris. No.
No, definitely Gordon.
Yeah.
There's a leap of faith here. I think I've got this colour up here. Don't know why. I just feel that the car feels, I don't know, soft in places, cold. I've got a colour up here called mocha. I don't know what colour it is. It's sort of a pinky colour. Maybe I'll put a few bits of that on. It might satisfy my. Nah, just leave it. Come back later with a what do you call it? Watercolor pencil or a crayon if you want to, if you feel you must. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud to myself now. Are you talking to yourself? In a funny way, I think I might hear. Yeah. I say, hello. And on. Would you buy a car like that? Possibly. They're worth a fortune. Well, they take them away, don't they, and redo them into something special. Turn it into a hot rod. Which it's not. Oh, it's not too bad. And see what you lot get up to.
I'm looking forward to this one. Something
I think
really different.
we want,
Never
yeah,
done before. I bet Joyce is.
It definitely is, yes. So I'm going to join the collection.
Yeah.
awesome. Well, it doesn't look too bad on screen.
Very nice.
Thing is, it's a bit like the one from last week. Unless you interpret it totally different and sort of just sort of paint it bright yellow first, or green or orange or whatever color you want, and stamp your own thing on it, but it's not easy to do that for me. I like it. I've got to paint it as it is or as it looks. I mean, that's the challenge, to try and reproduce it a little bit, but I often walk away thinking, oh, you know, just like an oil paint, you can slap it on and tease it into any sort of image that you know, all loose and fancy free, impressionistic and God knows what else.
That's really nice. I like that.
It is nice.
Gordon's looking forward to having a go.
I think
Yeah, imagine
Yeah,
Gordon really enjoying that one.
yeah. He's out cutting the grass at the moment.
But it's got longer, hasn't it, chipping away?
Yeah. It's a bit
Hopefully
long, yeah. It's
With the
taking
rain.
rusty. Well, it's not taken me too long, but then again, like I said, the what we were saying earlier, the drawing and sketching was the thing,
Yeah.
I suppose. But I'd say save yourself the heartache and trace it if you can. At least just get the outline and the scale of it. But if you're doing it freehand, then it doesn't matter anyway, because it's just going to, you forget about that because you're not constricted by the size and scale of the original picture. You just forget all that. But once I started doing it with a grid, then I'm restricted by that, because it's got to fit, you know, into each square. You're doing it. So then I started doing it. I thought, oh, this is good. There's nothing wrong with what I was doing. I was thinking, I haven't got time to sit here and do this all day. Yeah. So I thought, well, just do it quick outline on the, you know, using the trace down paper or carbon paper. I'll do it that way.
Oh, now I've got a printer. Yeah. I'm so excited. And it was free. A friend had upgraded hers.
Right.
Gave me it. And it's got
That's all right.
and it's got spare inks. So
Wow. All right then.
yeah, absolutely. No, I couldn't have afforded a new one at the moment. There's too much going on.
Yeah, a computer without a printer is just, I can't see the point of it. The first thing you want to do is print something out, whether it's a letter or something to keep. It's getting less and less so, though, I must admit. I don't print as much. The only time I print these days are these things for this, more or less. Oh, and if I'm learning a new song, I'll print the songs out. That's only like a sheet of A4.
I tend to do these things and knitting patterns, and that seems to be it, basically.
Yeah, I get that. Now will send me a thing on WhatsApp saying, can you print this out for me, please?
Yeah, he's just turned it on.
Yeah, that's quite often. Hang on a minute. There is freedom within, there is freedom without. Trying to catch the deluge in the paper cup. There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you'll never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't feel it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come. You'll walk between us, say no. Now I'm towing my car. There's a toll in the road. My possessions are causing me suspicion, but there's no proof. In the paper today, tales of war and of waves. Would you turn right over to the TV page? Hey now, dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come. Through the wall between us, we know they won't win. Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting up the steps to your door of your heart. The shadows ahead, barely clearing the roof. Get to know the feeling of liberation and release. Hey now, dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come. In the war between us, we know they won't win. Don't let them win. Hey now, don't let them win.